I can't wait either. Last night's games, the opening line started as a pick-em. Philadelphia has now taken over as a 2-point favorite to win it all. And as you just heard his voice, Ryan Clark here with us in an Andre Julius custom.
No, not this one. This is an old one.
This is an old one.
Yeah, because he made some stuff for next week. That's
that's what I worked on this weekend. You're bringing out the extra something.
Absolutely,
special, right?
It's gonna be a little bit like when I had to show Stephen A. up at HBCU Day.
You did the yellow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit something like that. Fix your face.
Hold it. You mean when either Big Bird or Dick Tracy showed up with all yellow? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about? Let's face reality. Let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. First of all, you got somebody to your left, Molly, that once called himself Casket Clean on one of my shows. That's what he came up with. I never heard that before, right? Now, Ryan Clark can dress, and he has set a good standard, and I give him credit where credit is due. But can we stop lying to the American public and be bragging about his suits? It's not really his suits. Damn it, the brother look good because he's in shape while most of us are not.
Well,
That's what's really going on. The brother is in shape.
It's about the mannequin. It's not about the wardrobe.
I mean, the brother is in shape. I mean, when I see Ryan Clark, I look at myself and go like this. Damn, you got a lot of work to do. Get in that gym. That's what I say. It ain't about that. I am. I've lost 10 pounds.
But here's what
I'm getting there. But I ain't you, my brother. I ain't you,
here's what
okay?
I noticed, though. Was it done on purpose that you guys didn't have me and Michael B. Jordan on at the same time? Was that going to be a little bit too much for Stephen A? Was that it?
Not at all. Not at all. I'm the godfather.
He wanted to space you guys out.
Space us out.
As he puts together his workout program.
Last comment before we get back to football. Let's not get it twisted. Let's be very, very clear. I am the best dressed dude in sports. Let's just call that.
Okay.
That is totally true.
Okay, the pink silk is nice.
True.
In the words of Kendrick Perkins, let's carry the hell on.
Have any of y'all been in GQ? Have any of y'all been in GQ? Have any of y'all been in GQ? Have any of y'all been in GQ?
Okay. Stephen A., weren't you with Perk this weekend? It's time to carry on that.
Yeah.
And Mahomes, or is it Hurts?
That's why I love this story. I love the game. I'm telling you the stories that we put in this game, man. And this thing that Patrick Mahomes done this year, losing Tyreek Hill, keeping this offense up, having his best season is an incredible, incredible accomplishment. And it just proves to us. We've already known that he was great. It proves to us and put another layer on his greatness. With Patrick Mahomes, this whole journey has been about placement. About placement. Where do we place him in history? Is he 1? Is he 1A? But we still have him up here this whole run. This Jalen Hurts run is a whole new world. It's such an inspirational story to everybody out there not to listen to the noise when you know what you are, who you are deep down inside of you. Jalen Hurts, think about that journey he took. From college, where he got sat down in a championship game, replaced. Most people in that kind of situation would want to go run and hide the rest of their lives not to be seen. But not Jalen Hurts. He fought his way back, ended up in Oklahoma, fought for a job there, got right back on that podium as a Heisman Trophy. Every time you knock him down, he gets back up.
Yep.
And he comes back up better than he was before. To take his team with nobody. I got people, Chris Jenkins works with me over at the network, such a huge Eagles fan. And he says to me, because I worked with him so closely all the time, he said, man, when Jalen Hurts was coming out, I remember seeing him play. I said, God, I hope my team don't draft him. This is what Philly was saying. Wait a minute. No. I'm not going to do that to Philly. This is what every team was saying. Everybody was saying. And then when they did draft him, they said, when Philly did draft him, they said, why we get him in the second round when we got Carson Wentz? And Jalen Hurts came in, won everybody over, turned this whole team towards his style of play, and took this team to a Super Bowl when everybody said he had no ability. not to lead a team to a Super Bowl. They said he had no ability to even be in the NFL. Don't even talk about this. This ain't even a close story. Now, come on, man. Patrick Mahomes is about placement.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is about existence. I belong here. I told y'all doubted me, and I came. And I didn't just come where y'all gonna have a debate about did he prove that he's a franchise quarterback? Did he prove that he's belongs? Because when you take your team to a Super Bowl, that's it. You proved it.
Yeah.
And let me give y'all this last little nugget before I move on and yield the floor. There's one man that should be the most happy. The most happy. I know you can't even say most happiest because it's incorrect grammar.
You can do whatever you want.
No, right here we can say it. Lamar Jackson should be the most happiest, and that's the incorrect way of saying it, man in the world. Because Lamar Jackson, your style of football just got proven to get a team to the Super Bowl because you didn't prove it. Nobody else had proved it. Now the qualifications for great quarterbacks have changed. Right. Lamar Jackson, you go get your money now. Because now it is viable.
Ryan Clark, before you chime in, I'll wait to go last. I just wanted to make a simple correction here. If our brother Michael Irvin wasn't so loquacious and so verbose all the damn time, he would know that you could take out the word most and use the word happiest, and it would have been grammatically correct, and that would have been.
But he wasn't. He was trying to do extra.
All you have to do was say. That's what I'm saying. You're trying to do extra. Trying to do extra. All you had to do was say happiest, and that would have been that.
But the problem is this. You know what happens, though, Playmaker? Somebody gets on the bestsellers list, and now they want to correct our grammar.
Yeah.
They want to say, I'm on the best. I got it. I'm on the bestsellers list.
Editing tape.
Hey, let me make sure you speak correctly on my show.
I will remind you, I did this to Dan Orlovsky before I made the bestsellers list.
Man, this guy is ridiculous. I'm walking.
I did. I didn't wait until I got on the bestseller list to do that. I didn't wait until I got on the bestseller list.
Why didn't you come see Stephen A? There were so many people out there. I thought you were going to be there because he doesn't need anybody else to sit there and cheer him on as he signs his book so he can come and correct our grammar on the show. So stop it. But I will say this. Everything you said about Jalen Hurts is absolutely correct. And it's a story that's deeper than this season. Right. It's a story of overcoming adversity pretty much at every level and every opportunity he's had. He's only shown himself to be more of a leader and a better man than people have expected him to be coming in. But I'm going to say this is more impressive for Patrick Mahomes, and here's why. The entire offseason, all we spoke about was, could Patrick Mahomes still be the same quarterback he's been throughout the years without Tyreek Hill? And he showed us that throughout the entire season. He's the presumptive MVP of the 2022 season. And then move into the playoffs, and you're playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you have a high ankle sprain. Everybody knows you might as well break your leg, Playmaker, because coming back from a high ankle sprain, it normally takes weeks or it takes months to get you back to a position to where you can be yourself. And you're not only going to lead your team in the second half against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but you're playing Joe Burrow. Right, they're saying that Arrowhead Stadium is now Burrowhead Stadium. You're playing against Lou Anarumo, who's a defensive coordinator who's had your number at least in the second half of the last 3 meetings. You're playing against a team that people are saying is a team you can't defeat. And you not only play well, you outplay the other quarterback. Yes, the quarterback that I said myself, when it comes down to playing the position, when it comes down to getting the most out of their talent and the talent around him, understanding how to play against each team is the best in the world, Joe Burrow. Patrick Mahomes was better at all of those things than Joe Burrow was yesterday. And when you needed him to make a play, when he had to exceed the X's and O's, when he had to step up in the pocket, jump off of both feet, and throw the football to MVS down the field in the middle of the end zone, he did that. Yeah. And he did that at a level that other people can't. When it got down to the end of the game and he had to make a play with his legs, getting outside the pocket, he gets the first down. And because he was willing, right, because he had the guts to get out there and do that, now Joseph Asai pushes him late, sets up Harrison Butker for the game-winning field goal, and you beat the Cincinnati Bengals by 3. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes had his flu game yesterday. That doesn't matter if you don't win the Super Bowl.
You're right about
but
this.
without him being who he was as a man, the Kansas City Chiefs aren't in the Super Bowl this year.
Now, let's make sure before you go, Stephen A., just make sure you know now when we talk about what he's done to overcome beating Cincinnati, every game they played has only been a 3-point game.
Yeah.
So you overcame those 3 points, and with that, so Jalen Hurts overcame. Just don't even supposed to be here. I'm just saying.
Jalen Hurts was playing Michael Irvin at quarterback. And I'm not talking about the playmaker. I'm talking about this Michael Irvin. The Michael Irvin that sits on first take.
And
they had no quarterback.
Can I just say one thing? He also seems like, sorry, Stephen A., and then jump in. The ultimate teammate.
Oh,
he always says all the right things. Like how you talked about how the city didn't embrace him. They didn't want him. He addressed that. He was asked about it. No animosity.
Nothing but love.
He was happy that they were straight shooters, to use Stephen A's title.
We're going to get to this later. I saw it on the rundown. But also give some credit to Avrion Hurts, who is his father. Right? We talk so much about black fathers. Black fathers being in the home. He raised that man to be who he is
30%
today.
Caucasian Americans, 50% Hispanic Americans, 73% African Americans, fathers not in their homes, not on their posts. I heard you talking about this morning. That was just a great job, my brother.
You're absolutely right to bring that up, and I appreciate it because I was going to bring that up, Ryan. You beat me to it. Thank you for doing that because obviously on too many occasions we lament the absence of black fathers, and the fact of the matter is, all three of us up here are fathers, and there's a lot of great men who are great fathers who come from the African American community, and we don't talk about them enough. So this is one of those situations where we want to make sure that we talk about it. Absolutely. Secondly, I totally agree with you, Ryan, and everything that you said, old suit and all. The bottom line is this: you were absolutely correct in what you highlighted and what you pointed out about both Jalen Hurts, but more importantly, just about Patrick Mahomes. Now, Jalen Hurts is my brother. We're both Qs. We're Omegas. I love this brother, and I'm proud of what he's doing. I'm very, very proud of his story. And when you look at his story, you have to take into account the level of adversity that he has had to endure. Getting benched in the national championship game, sparking the career of Tua Tagovailoa because Nick Saban pulls him in at halftime, and he lifts them to a national championship victory over the Georgia Bulldogs several years ago because Jalen Hurts wasn't playing that well. He transfers to Oklahoma. He gets them to the college football playoffs. He comes into the NFL. He's a second-round draft pick, and a lot of people are saying, okay, he's a running quarterback, but he's not really a thrower of the football. There's limitations to his game. And what does he do? He works on the game to the point where he shows that he's not just a bona fide quarterback in the National Football League. He's a bona fide starter, and he's a bona fide MVP candidate who is clearly the most improved player in the National Football League. But for those who would say it stops there because he ain't the MVP, Patrick Mahomes reminded us why of that yesterday. I will remind you that in these two playoff games that Jalen Hurts has returned, obviously he had to return the last game of the regular season because the Eagles had lost 2 in a row and they had to secure the #1 seed. And his presence in that lineup, how he galvanizes, he's not just a passer, he's a leader. And these guys rally around him. That's an important point to bring up about him. But what we learned about Jalen Hurts, we've known about Patrick Mahomes for years. I will remind you, Patrick Mahomes, ever since he's been a starter, Patrick Mahomes has never gone home sooner than the AFC Championship. Think about it.
Then you're making my point.
In 5 years. Wait a minute. But what I'm saying to you, Michael, is that when we talk about the most impressive run, the man has been to 5 straight AFC Championship games. It's now his 3rd Super Bowl. He goes up in there, and in one game yesterday, he's thrown more than the 2 games that Jalen Hurts registered in the playoffs. Now, obviously, he's got a team, and they romped the Giants and then the San Francisco 49ers. But Patrick Mahomes has been heroic. He's been Herculean. He's been exceptional, and he's done it without Tyreek Hill. And without Tyreek Hill, they got the #1 offense in yards, #1 offense in points, #1 passing attack, and it didn't dissipate once the playoffs arrived. When you look at that combined with his questionable health, there is no question that Patrick Mahomes has had the more impressive run, particularly this postseason. There is
It's not even close. This shouldn't even be a debate. This should not even be a debate. Are y'all
But
serious?
it is.
Stop, guys. Listen, Patrick Mahomes was already in the top. He's in his 5th straight AFC Championship game.
Because he keeps
He's
doing
his
it.
3rd Super Bowl in 4th year. Keep doing it is great. But when you didn't think a man man even belong in the stratosphere, even belong on the NFL field. And he took his team to a Super Bowl, a revamped team. This is not even close. I don't even know why we got it on the top.
You are not wrong, Mike. You're just not right.
You're not right.
God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you something,
You
guys.
guys
Molly,
are upsetting.
Molly, Gardner Minshew.
I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go.
Gardner Minshew would have beaten the Giants, and he would have beaten a quarterback less San Francisco 49ers team yesterday.
Too far, Stephen A.
Don't do that.
That's what it is. I didn't go too far. I didn't go too far. You went too far.
We didn't win those games that he got up in there. That's what.
I understand.
Even Michael Parsons should take back what he said about Jalen Hurts, talking about it's the team around him.
Whatever.
If it was the team around him.
Only thing going too far is that jacket with that pocket square. That's it.
Come on, man.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the only thing going too far.
Two levels. You know I've been trying to rap for like 5 minutes.
Okay, you go rap.
And then you had to bring up Gardner Minshew. You know that was going to get him going. And you're upsetting my friend Michael Irvin. So I need you to
What about
stop.
your friend Stephen A? What about your friend Stephen A? What do you mean your friend Michael Irvin? What am I, chopped liver?
You are in LA with a pink silk shirt on. You are just fine. Coming up on First Take.
It's
Another
raining.
playoff
It's raining.
disappointment. Let's